Have you ever looked at the world's most successful people? The industry titans, the legendary creators, the ones who seem to operate on a different level and thought, well, what's their secret? What do they know that I don't? The Elon Musk, Tim Cooks, and Jeff Wieners. You see them hitting goal after goal, building entire empires from scratch. You know you're capable of more, but you just can't figure out how to unlock their secret. It's frustrating, feeling like you're on the outside looking in, separated by a glass wall you can't seem to break. But here's the truth. It's not about luck, and it's not about where they came from. The top 1% have a secret weapon, and something anyone can learn. It's not in their wallets, it's in their heads. It's the way they approach life. It's the way they think. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to build the mindset, just like those top thought leaders of today's world. So let's dive into the 5 mindset shifts that will change your life forever. Number 1, become the CEO of Us Incorporated. The first, and maybe the most important shift, is to stop acting like you're just an employee. You need to start thinking of yourself as the CEO of Us Incorporated. Now, that isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a total shift in how you see personal responsibility and how to leverage social capital. Think about it. A company has departments: finance, R&D, health and wellness, marketing, and partnerships. Well, so do you. Our finances, that's our company's treasure. Our skills and knowledge, that's our R&D department. Our physical mental health, that's our operations. Our network, that's our business development team. An employee waits for orders and is not part of the greater whole. A CEO sets a vision for all, at all times. An employee does an assigned task. A CEO decides which tasks actually matter. The top 1% don't just drift through life reacting to whatever happens. They're architects of their own future. A successful company tracks its numbers, invests in its own growth, and has a clear vision. As a CEO of Us Incorporated, you have to do the same. You're in charge of your own learning, financial planning, mental and physical well-being, lifting others up along the way. No one's going to just hand you a promotion in your life. You have to create a role you want and then go fill it while helping others find their purpose. This is all about taking radical ownership. When a company's product launch flops, the CEO doesn't blame the market. They examine the data, learn the lesson, and pivot. So when you have a setback, you don't blame things you can't control. You take ownership and ask, all right, well, what's my next move? And how do I leverage the team? So here's an actionable step. Schedule your first board meeting for Us Incorporated this week. Just 1 hour, that's all you need. Grab a notebook and make a page for the key departments in your life. So what are you passionate about? What do you need to learn? What are your core values? How's your health? And who's on your team? For each one, write down one key performance indicator, KPI. And how do you want to improve that? Then write down one single action item you'll take in the next 7 days to make it happen. Maybe it's spending 30 minutes learning a new skill. For health, maybe it's scheduling 2 workouts. This isn't about burning yourself out. It's about making small, strategic, executive decisions that over time will build an incredible life. And once you have your plan, you bring others into the fold by creating your team. Now that you've focused on yourself and those around you, you have to ask yourself the question, what happens if I spend too much time worrying about the future? Well, let's talk about it in Mindset Shift 2. You need to redefine failure as the price for admission. For most people, failure is a stop sign. It's a dead end that tells them to turn around and go home. For the top 1%, failure isn't a wall. It's a toll booth. It's simply the price you paid to get on the highway of success. Take J.K. Rowling. Before Harry Potter was a household name, she was a single mom on government assistance, fighting depression. Her manuscript was rejected by 12 different publishers. Most people would have given up, but Rowling didn't see those rejections as a final verdict of her work. She saw them as hurdles in a race. She paid the toll, and then on the other side of that persistence was a billion-dollar empire. Or look at Thomas Edison. When a reporter asked him about his thousands of failed attempts at a light bulb, he had this legendary response. I've always loved it. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's not just a clever comeback. It's a complete change in perspective. He wasn't failing, he was learning. He was gathering data. Every failure was just one more step that got him closer to the right answer. The 1% mindset gets that you can't have success without the risk of failure. There are two sides to the same coin. As Michael Jordan famously said, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that's why I succeed. Success isn't about avoiding failure. It's about mastering it. It's having the toughness to come back, learn the lesson, and go again, but this time a little bit smarter. So here's your actionable step. Think of one area where the fear of failing is holding you back right now. Is it starting that hobby? Asking for that promotion? Learning that new skill? Now reframe it. Instead of asking, what if I fail? Ask yourself, what's the smallest, cheapest lesson I can run to test this? Can you validate your business idea with a $50 social media ad? Can you ask your boss for a quick chat about the future at the company? Make that price of admission so low that you can't afford not to pay it. Now that you've reframed the possibility of failure, let's master your emotional control. That brings us to mindset shift number 3. Master your emotional regulation. When the stakes are high, runaway emotions are a liability. The average person gets yanked around by their feelings all day long. A bit of bad news ruins their mood. A single criticism sends them into a tailspin. A dip in the stock market makes them panic, sell at the very bottom. But the top 1% play a different game. They've mastered the art of emotional control. Now, this doesn't mean they're robots and that they don't have feelings. It just means they've trained themselves to create a space between a feeling and a decision. They treat their emotions as data points, not as directors. They can feel fear, they can feel frustration, but they don't let those emotions grab the steering wheel. They can feel excitement, but they don't let that excitement trick them into making a reckless bet. Think about a top investor. When a deal collapses or a project goes sideways, the amateur thinks, this is a disaster. I'm a total failure. The pro thinks, interesting. That didn't work. What can I learn from this? What's my next play? This little shift from taking it personally to observing it objectively is a top 1% reaction. There's even neuroscience to back this up. Constantly replaying negative events in your head keeps your brain stuck in a stress loop. Emotional control breaks that cycle. By creating a gap between an event and your reaction, you take your power back. It's why so many top performers practice things like mindfulness and journaling. Not for some mystical reason, but for a strategic advantage. It trains the mind to stay calm and rational under pressure, which is the ultimate edge. So here's your actionable step. The next time you feel a powerful negative emotion like anxiety, anger, or frustration, try the 10-10-10 rule. Ask yourself in 3 simple questions. Will this matter in 10 minutes? Will it matter in 10 months? Will it matter in 10 years? This simple habit forces you to zoom out and puts the problems in perspective. It pulls the emotional sting out of the situation and lets your logical, strategic mind get back to work. All right, we're more than halfway through. If these mindset shifts are starting to click with you and you want an in-depth analysis of personal growth, click on the link in the comments to pre-order my new book, Emergence. I promise, it is a pocket guide to becoming part of the 1%. Next up, how do you make yourself indispensable? Mindset shift number 4. Adapt the moat mentality. That's right, moat. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors ever, has a famous rule. He doesn't invest in businesses, he invests in castles. And what's the most important part of a castle? Yep, the moat. An economic moat, as Buffett calls it. It is a durable competitive advantage that protects a company from its rivals. Just like a real moat protects a castle from invaders, the top 1% apply this mentality to their own lives and careers. They don't just build skills, they build moat. A skill is something anyone can go out and learn. A moat is a unique combination of your skills, your reputation, your experiences, and your network that is incredibly difficult for someone else to copy. Think of it this way. Being a decent programmer is a skill, but being a programmer who also has deep expertise in a niche field of architectural logistics, holds a patent on a specific algorithm, and is trusted by the top 10 CEOs in that industry, that's a moat. It's a massive barrier for anyone trying to compete with you. Your career is a castle. What's protecting it? If your job could be taught by someone else in a few months, you don't have a moat, you have a vulnerability. The 1% are always asking, how can I widen my moat? Do they do it by stacking skills from different fields, building a powerful personal brand, or becoming the absolute best in a tiny, high-demand niche? They don't want to be just another brick in the wall. They want to be the whole fortress. Buffett looks for moats because he knows the world is designed to tear down success. As soon as you build something profitable, competitors rush in to take a piece of it. Your moat is what ensures your success for the long haul. So here's your actionable step. Do a quick inventory of your castle. What's your single greatest professional strength? Now ask yourself this: what is the one extra skill, piece of knowledge, or relationship that I could add that would make my main strength 10 times more valuable and harder to copy? For example, if you're a great writer, could you build a moat by becoming an expert in SEO, or by mastering video editing, or by building a huge email list? Don't just get better at what you do. Build a moat around it. The last mindset shift ties it all together. Mindset shift number 5. Cultivate unshakable grit. Here's a simple truth. Talent is common. Endurance is rare. Psychologist Angela Duckworth, who has studied successful people for years, defines grit as a mix of passion and perseverance toward long-term goals. And her groundbreaking research shows that grit, not talent and not IQ, is the single most reliable predictor of success. The world is filled with talented people who fail. People who had a brilliant start but gave up when things got hard. They rested on their talents because they didn't have to push their limits to achieve moderate success. The 1% mindset is different. It's not about how gifted you are. It's about treating life like a marathon, not a sprint. Think of someone like Richard Branson. He was young, dyslexic, had zero business training when he started Virgin Records. He learned everything by doing, by adapting, and by simply refusing to give up. His whole career is a masterclass in his motto, screw it, let's do it. That's not just being reckless. It's the definition of grit. It's being willing to take the first step when the path isn't clear, and having the toughness to keep going when you stumble. People with grit don't expect instant results. They know that getting great at anything is a long, complex process. They embrace what Duckworth calls deliberate practice, constantly pushing themselves just past their comfort zone, looking for feedback, and always tweaking their approach. They find a goal that means so much to them that their daily struggle actually starts to feel meaningful. While everyone else is getting distracted by the next shiny object, the gritty person just keeps showing up day after day because they know that consistent effort is what creates miracles. So here's your last actionable step. What is one meaningful long-term goal that you are genuinely passionate about? Something that excites you but also requires you to put in the work for months or even years. Now break it down. What's the smallest possible action you can take every single day to move toward it? It could be 15 minutes. The goal here isn't to be perfect. It's to be consistent. It's what I like to call a fractal habit. Then you write that daily action down and put it somewhere where you'll see it every day. You're not just working on your goal. You're building the structure of grit. So there you have it. The mindset that separates the top 1% isn't some magical power they were born with. It's a series of deliberate choices. It's the choice to be the CEO of Us Incorporated, to take total ownership of your life while uplifting others. It's a choice to see failure as nothing more than the price of admission for your ambitions. It's the choice to master your emotions and use them as data rather than letting them control you. It's the choice to build a moat around your career, making your value undeniable. And finally, it's the choice to develop unshakable grit, because passion and perseverance beat talent every day. These aren't just nice ideas. They are a new operating system for your mind. So what if you started installing it today? What if you made just one small shift, took one small action from this video? The gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't as wide as you think. It's the width of a single decision, the decision to think differently. The promise of that 1% isn't about money. It's about living a life of purpose, growth, and meaning. And that life is available to you starting right now. If you got value from this video, hit the subscribe and like button and turn on the notifications, because we're committed to bringing you strategies and mindsets you need to build your own success. And my final question for you, and I hope that if you've stayed this long, you're willing to do this, based on everything we just talked about, what is the one action you're going to commit to taking this week to start building your success-driven mindset? Let me know in the comments below. Let's create a community of accountability and success right here. Thanks for watching. Now go be that CEO.